And he also wrote that, people famishing and idle, the only acceptable form in which God can dare appear is work. These were the words of Noah Kali, 1946, and promise of food as wages, promise of food as wages. In other words, what we call food for work and so on. So obviously, there is need for a strategy for food security. But again, what is your goal? What is your goal in management? Management has to have a clear, well-defined goal. Today, it's far better to call it nutrition security. Food security, as I said, was defined more in million terms of food grains. Nutrition security means physical, economic, and social access to balanced diet, macro and micronutrients, safe drinking water, primary health care, and sanitation, and so both food and non-food factors. The second aspect of sustainable food security, so I will say we must make the paradigm shift to nutrition security. In fact, the 10th Five-Year Plan document calls for a paradigm shift from food security at the gross level, at the national level, to the nutrition security at the individual level. Each individual, we require nutrition, and that is balanced diet and safe drinking water and environmental hygiene. Food should also originate from efficient and environmentally benign production technologies, because we want to have permanent food security. This is what I call an evergreen revolution. Evergreen revolution means improvement of productivity in perpetuity without ecological harm. Without ecological harm, it's not that going up one day and coming down the other day, but a continuous perpetuity. I already mentioned about the dimensions of hunger: chronic or endemic, largely poverty, hidden hunger, transient hunger, and a sustainable national food and nutrition security system should cover all these aspects and address the three issues of availability, access, and absorption. The National Commission on Farmers, which had a 2-year life from up to November 2004 to October 2006, we didn't ask for any extension. We submitted 5 reports plus 1 draft national policy for farmers, and there was one explicit terms of reference to develop a strategy for nutrition security. Next few slides and remarks I'm going to make are from the recommendations of the National Commission on Agriculture. We call the chapter Making Hunger History. The title of the chapter, Chapter 2 of the 5th report in October 2006 is called Making Hunger History. It is available on the website, it's available in its CD-ROM, both in Hindi and English. And if you want to look at it in greater detail, you can do that. The very first, it has got a 6-point action plan. The very first action is reform of the delivery system. I mentioned to you earlier that we have a large number of nutrition intervention programs over a period of time. ICDS and noon meal program, various yojanas and so on. But it is important to restructure the delivery system on a life cycle basis. When you define nutrition security at the individual level, not at the collective level, then it is important it starts from the time the child is conceived to the time one dies, the whole cycle, life cycle approach. Fortunately, we have schemes, but they are all delivered in a very isolated way, in a parallel way, not in an integrated way at the level of the individual. It can be done. The public distribution system also is one of the very important components of food security, because it means you make the food available in an accessible form, economically accessible form. Before that, let me also say, when we talk about hunger in our country, the largest segment of consumers are farmers, because they constitute over 2/3 of the population. So hunger is not just confined only to non-productive farmers. That means their income is so low, mainly in dry farming areas or rain-fed areas, and I will come to that. Dr. Madhura Swaminathan and others have calculated what is the cost of universal PDS. It comes to less than 1% of our GDP and can be easily financed by raising our tax to GDP ratio by 1 percentage point. It's not very difficult for this country to do that if there's a real commitment. You see, the real commitment comes from the political side. For example, in Tamil Nadu, Mr. M.G. Ramachandran felt that no child should go to school hungry. He should be hungry in school. He started universal noon meal program. He didn't go to UNICEF. He didn't go to the World Bank. I was then in the planning commission. He said, when he was asked what is your aim additional resource mobilization, ARM. He said, I will make it. I don't ask anybody. If I don't feed my child, I'm not worth to be the chief minister. Similarly, in the case of Maharashtra, they had the vision, employment guarantee scheme. They didn't go to any World Bank or nothing, with their own resource. That is the real index. If you are going to do something with your own resources, that means your commitment. That is why it is important to commit ourselves to eradicate hunger from our own resource. This is the life cycle approach, starting with the pregnant woman. I started by the womb, because the low birth weight baby has many difficulties, as I mentioned, and also it can be more prone to diabetics, many other problems later on. Goes on to the whole adult life. If you can, any of you, you are integrated learning in management, you put together all the nutrition intervention programs in the country as an exercise, and then try to see how you will deliver it in an integrated way, starting, as I said, from the pregnant woman to the adult person. The second important aspect, I mentioned there are 6 sets of action. All these are actionable, doable, replicable. We put ourselves certain criteria before we make recommendations. I said, I have been also on the other side of receiving recommendations. I said, if it comes to my table, how do I implement it? Therefore, we put ourselves first is implementable, affordable, actionable, sustainable, and replicable. These are the areas. Put a matrix and see whether our recommendations. Delivery is not difficult. In fact, we prepared also a few pilots how to deliver it on a life cycle basis. Similarly, community food security, particularly in tribal areas and many areas where there is chronic hunger, it is important to put a whole set of community food and water security systems. It has another advantage. It can widen the food security basket. Today, the government buys only rice and wheat, but you have then ragi, many millets. They are all very nutritious. They are all, you see, today, some of you who are more affluent